It's a story about a teenager who was once talking in a meeting with the Lubavitcher Rabbi. And he was going through a lot of struggles in his life. And he said to the Rabbi, why did God make us with so many challenges and struggles as human beings? Why couldn't God make us like the angels who are perfect? And the Rabbi gave him the following answer. The Rabbi said to this teenager, tell me, what's more accurate, a picture or a painting? So the young man said, of course, a picture is much more accurate than a painting. And then the Rebbe said, what's more valuable, a picture or a painting? And of course he said, a painting is much more valuable than a picture. And the Rebbe said, if a picture, a photograph is much more accurate than the painting, why is it that a photograph costs $1 or less, and a painting of the same scenery could sometimes be millions of dollars? Isn't the photograph more accurate? And the Rebbe answered the question by saying that a photograph, while it's very accurate, it's lifeless, meaning that the photograph is inanimate. However, a painting captures the imagination of the painter, the deep emotions of the painter, the creativity of the painter, and the more the painting captures the depth of the emotions and the creativity and the imagination of the painter, the more valuable it is. And the Rebbe said the angels are like photographs. They're lifeless in the sense that there's no movement, there's no emotion involved. It's just like robotic. A human being who has to use his creativity, his emotions, his intelligence, his imagination, his creativity, all of that is imbued in the mitzvah, and the internal dimensions of inner conflict and struggle that every human being has to go through, and performs the mitzvah out of that sense of personal involvement. That is much more, infinitely more valuable than just a still photograph, which is like the angelic performance. And this is the whole idea of Shavuos. It says when God gave the Torah to the Jewish people, Moshe went to Mount Sinai, and the angel said, why are you giving the Torah to human beings? And Moshe responded by saying, let's look into the Torah and see what it says. It says, honor your father and mother. Do you have fathers and mothers in heaven that you have to honor? It says, I was the God who took you out of the land of Egypt. Were you in Egypt in slavery? In other words, the Torah speaks to the human condition and the struggles of mankind and elevates man to a higher spiritual level despite the human challenges. Angels don't need a Torah. They're perfect to begin with. And therefore it's very ironic that we always compliment people saying, he's an angel. From this perspective in Judaism, being a mensch is greater than being an angel, because it doesn't take any effort to be an angel. Angels are angels, it comes easy to them. But to be a mensch and do the right thing, even when there are other challenges involved in being a mensch, and nonetheless doing what's right despite your temptations and your internal struggles or anger or jealousy, whatever it is, but yet rise above those human nature impulses and do the right thing and be a mensch is even greater compliment than being an angel. And just to conclude with a story, there was a certain tzaddik, I don't remember which one, that a Jew came to him, and the Jew said, he read somewhere in a Kabbalistic source that if you fast for 40 days, you merit to meet Elijah the prophet, who's now an angel. And he said, I fasted for 40 days and I didn't meet Elijah the prophet. I'm very disappointed. So this particular tzaddik said to this Jew, here's what you have to do if you want to meet Elijah the prophet. He said, the holiday is coming up, Rosh Hashanah. There's a poor family that lives at the edge of the city. Go spend the holiday with them. And since you're a man of means, bring them the food and everything they need and spend Rosh Hashanah with them, and you'll merit to see Elijah the prophet. The Jew said, fine. He was a wealthy Jew. He got the best food and drink and everything for the holiday. He traveled to the edge of the town. He comes in there. There's a widow with some children running around. The house is dirty. There's no food in the refrigerator. There was refrigerators back then, but there's no food in the house. And then he says, can I be your guest for Rosh Hashanah? And the family said, the mother says, I would love to have you, but we have no food for ourselves. He says, don't worry, I brought all the food. And he starts unloading his wagon. The kids, no one saw such food in their life. And they had the most marvelous yontif, and he had the most miserable yontif because he was living in this little hovel. The roof was leaking, and it was a tiny, cramped apartment. But he was waiting to see Elijah the prophet. First day Rosh Hashanah, second day Rosh Hashanah, he doesn't see Elijah the prophet. So he comes back to the tzaddik. He says, I did everything you told me. I didn't see Elijah the prophet. He says, now go back and do the same thing for Yom Kippur. Says, oh, you have to spend Yom Kippur with his family again? Okay, to see Elijah the prophet, it's worth it. So he packs up all the food for the meal before the fast and for the break to fast, and he goes back to the same house. And he's about to knock on the door. And he hears the mother telling the kids, we got to get ready for Yom Kippur. The fast is starting in 2 hours, and we got to get ready. And he hears the kids of this widow saying to their mother, Mom, we don't want to fast this Yom Kippur. Why? Because we fast every day. We have no food in this house. Why should we fast on Yom Kippur? And the mother says, children, don't talk that way. It's Yom Kippur, we have to fast. If we do what Hashem asks us to do, maybe we'll witness a miracle again, and Elijah the prophet will come again for Yom Kippur and bring us food for the holiday. And then he realized what the Rebbe had told him, that you will merit to see Elijah the prophet, you will be Elijah the prophet. Don't look to see angels, look to be an angel. When a human being acts like an angel, he's even greater than the highest angels. And that's what the Torah enables us to do. And that's why Hashem told the angels, the Torah has to go down to earth, to mankind, because when human beings follow the Torah, they could be even greater than the loftiest angels.